Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome back. I hope you're doing good. I just filmed a whole intro and then realised my camera was not in fact recording. So that's the vibes we're going in with today. It's boiling hot in the UK. I'm melting. I'm tired. I haven't filmed in well over a week, maybe two, because I've been so busy. I'm not sure what my camera's doing. So today is going to be a haul video because I have accumulated quite a few books and decks secondhand off eBay, etc. over the last couple months, and I thought I would share them with you because who doesn't love to have a bit of a nosy at the things that people are buying? I know I do. I love talking and sharing, so that's what we're doing today. I don't know what order we're going to go in. I'm just going to grab things, I think. So I've got some tarot decks, I've got my iced coffee, which is gonna spill everywhere if I'm not careful. I've got some tarot decks, I've got some tarot books, and I've got some non-tarot books, which I think is what I'll do first. Okay, let's get into it. So, God, there's dust, there's cat hair, it's hot, my brain's not working. That's all you need to know. Okay. So, like I say, these are all secondhand. World of Books, which is an online used book seller. They were having a really good sale and they just happened to have loads of books that I've had my eye on for ages. I've been on a bit of a non-fiction kick recently. Something's clicked in my brain in the last few weeks and like suddenly I'm reading non-fiction. There is so much noise happening outside, so I keep pausing. So sorry if this one is a little bit more disjointed than usual. But anyway, I'm like back into my non-fiction. I've been reading, it's not near me, but I've been reading Helgoland by Carlo Rovelli, which is kind of a history of the discoveries of quantum physics in a way. And I've been really enjoying it, so I bought books. So these are all secondhand is what I was saying, and I've had some like dodgy purchases from World of Books before where they've said nearly new and they've come ripped to bits, but these, honestly, this feels like a new book and this cost me like £2 or something. This is Reality Is Not What It Seems by Carlo Rovelli, The Journey to Quantum Gravity. I've mentioned before my love of physics on this channel. When I say love of physics very hesitantly because I don't really know what I'm doing or talking about, and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, or I suppose in one eye and out the other, but that sounds kind of creepy. But all the same, I really enjoy it. I think it's really interesting. I've been really enjoying his quantum gravity book. I've been reading and kind of, this is what I mentioned before, like applying physics ideas and specifically like quantum physics reality type ideas to like tarot or thinking about tarot through that framework. It's just something I'm really enjoying. So this is his own, no, that's a lie, it's not his only book of his that I don't have, but anyway, Carlo Rovelli is an Italian physicist. His works are all translated. His writing is beautiful. It reads very philosophically and very beautifully. And this, I truly don't know, this is about quantum gravity, and yeah, that's kind of all I can say. One of the things I really love about like quantum physics in particular is that nobody really knows what the hell is going on, and every time a new discovery is made, it kind of upends everything that science thinks it knows, and I think that's really exciting and it's something I really enjoy. So I have my next Carlo Rovelli waiting in the wings for me. Speaking of philosophical writing, I also bought this. This is Werner Heisenberg's Physics and Philosophy, and I bought it purely because of the title. I've had my eye on this for a while, but I feel like we've all probably recognized the name Heisenberg, and this is about the central ideas of the quantum revolution and his celebrated uncertainty principle, which I have read about and immediately can't tell you what it does. And yeah, I just thought physics and philosophy sounds like exactly the kind of thing I want to be reading at the moment. And in the same vein, I finally got my hands on a copy of The Consolations of Physics by Tim Radford. This is blurbed as being a book more about life and passion than physics. And this is kind of a look at how understanding physics and understanding this like big, uncertain, mind-blowing stuff can be quite like reassuring for us. It's that idea of like, you remember you're just a tiny person on a tiny speck of dust in this big wide universe, and like it's reassuring, which I know some people find the opposite, but I find that reassuring, and I think that's kind of what this book does. Why the wonders of the universe can make you happy. And that also sounds like something that is right up my street. So those are all my physics books. I also have had this on my wish list for absolutely years. This is Gossip from the Forest by Sarah Maitland, The Tangled Roots of Our Forests and Fairy Tales. And I am currently reading, oh goodness, I've forgotten what it's called and who it's by. It's a book about trees, and I've been meaning to read it for years. I'm finding it absolutely fascinating. This, I think, is not so much about trees, like biologically speaking, but is about the kind of mythos and folklore that come from forests, specifically in Britain, which obviously is where I'm from. And I think this is set up with like bits of history, and then also, let me try and find one. Yeah, like little like fairy tales interspersed. And I used to be super into reading different versions of fairy tales and folk tales and different retellings, and I kind of fell out of that in the past few years. I think there's just a lot of them on the market now, and I got a little bit oversaturated, but it's something I really enjoy. And this kind of like historical folk tale set in like the real world, and like because it's set in Britain, it's the place that I'm from. I'm really excited to get to this. I think this is going to be a really cool, interesting book. So, iced coffee break. My iced coffee of choice at the moment, not that anybody asks, but I'm telling you anyway, is I buy like coffee concentrate, which I have with oat milk, matcha powder and blueberry syrup, and it's fucking delightful. So I also bought a fat stack of tarot books, and again, these are all sold as used and are all in actually really good nick. So I don't know what led to this. I was just in one of those moods where I wanted some retail therapy, and then I went on World of Books. They were having a sale, and they happened to have loads of books on my wish list, specifically the tarot books. Tarot books can be really expensive, and these were all like, I don't think a single book was priced at more than like £4, and they were also on offer. I think it was buy 3, like get the 4th for free or something. So anyway, I got a couple of Marseille books because, as you know, I'm doing my Marseille study, which I'm going to be honest has kind of fallen by the wayside for the past few weeks. I've been hella busy, but I have these books. This is Tarot on Earth by Tom Benjamin, and this is a workbook. I've got too much stuff in the way. This is a large book. So this is a workbook that has been very I've seen it recommended a lot. So you can tell it's used. It's got pencil in, so that is fine. And I think this is, I did have a flick through this when it first arrived in the post, but that was weeks ago now. But it is A Practical Approach to the Cards, which is something that sounds good to me, because that's kind of the way I've been reading Marseille a little bit, is more like less, the only word I can think of is metaphorically, which is what I do with my like Rider-Waite-Smith leaning decks, is like, oh, layers of meaning and layers of symbolism. And Marseille is a bit more like, well, what's actually on the card? And let's do it in like a numerological way, or like which way is everybody facing and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what this book is going to do. But it's a workbook, and I'm excited to get stuck into it at some point. God knows when that's going to happen. I also picked up Marseille Tarot, Towards the Art of Reading by Camélia, Elias, and this truly is just very highly recommended. Oh, it's very glossy, you can see my ring light. This has just come very highly recommended, and again, like, this is in practically, I suppose it's not new because there's a stain on it, but this looks like it could be practically new condition. I got it for like £3, and I think this is truly, I don't remember what this is. I think it's like her takes on the different cards. I'll get to it eventually. This is a bit of like a mad haul, so I'm not planning on getting, especially the tarot books, I'm not planning on digging into all of them anytime soon, because that would be a bit intense. So those are my Marseille books. I picked up this, which is Tarot Spreads, Layouts and Techniques to Empower Your Readings by Barbara Moore. This, again, has been on my wish list for ages. I really enjoy playing with different kinds of spreads, and I've really been wanting to, like, I've just been feeling really interested in digging into how a spread is made and how it functions. And that is what this book is. And I wanted it forever, and it was like £3. So could not say no. And again, it's in like, it looks practically new. I'm so impressed. So this I have had a flick through. This has a lot of spreads in it. Like there's a big chunk of like example, you know, not example, but just like spreads that you can use. And then there's also sections on how to like modify spreads, techniques to add to any spread. So it's kind of a little bit more, sorry, I keep flicking through and it freaks the white balance out. But it's a little bit more like the nitty gritty of how to construct, deconstruct, reconstruct spreads. And I've just been really thinking more about like when I've been doing a reading, like, well, why are the cards positioned in the way that they are? How do they relate to each other visually? Stuff like that. So this seems like the perfect kind of book to dig into that a little bit more. Okay, I'm trying to be relatively quick without talking a million miles per minute. Right, Rachel Pollack. Did I need these? No, not really. But they were both stupidly cheap. They were both like £3 something, and they both seem absolutely brand new. So this is the new Tarot Handbook by Rachel Pollack, Master the Meanings of the Cards. Can you believe I've never read a Rachel Pollack book? I know, me neither. And this is just the cards. This is what it says on the tin. This is her like interpretations of the cards. You've got some keywords, you've got some like descriptions. I haven't really read through this yet. You can see there's like a spread for, I don't know if it's like each of them. It might be each of the majors. A reading for the Suit of Pentacles. We've got the court cards. Yeah, I personally feel like I can never have too many like handbook type books as long as they all bring something different. And obviously Rachel Pollack was a master of tarot, so I'm pleased to have this. This is also a really nice little size. My other big handbook is huge. I'm also potentially considering giving my brother, like retiring my, I think it's my Liz Dean, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot, I think it's called. That's my like been my go-to Rider-Waite-Smith handbook for forever now. But I'm potentially thinking of like, I say retiring it to my brother, it will literally just be on a different shelf in my house, but possibly giving it to him. But anyway, so I have this as another handbook because I wanted it. That's truly what there is. And then this is brand new. I swear to God, this has never been touched. And this was so cheap. So this is 78 Degrees of Wisdom, a tarot journey of self-awareness. And this is the latest edition. This was published, when were you published? In 2019. I have wanted a copy of 78 Degrees of Wisdom for literally as long as I've been into the tarot. Originally it was in that 2-volume edition, and then there was a combined edition, and then this came out in 2019 as the latest edition, but this has never been cheap to purchase. So I snapped it up when I saw it for literally £3.50. I was thrilled. And again, this is literally just another book of Rachel Pollack going through the cards. And like I say, eventually I will get into it. It's essentially just another handbook for the cards, of which I already have 2 that I dip into frequently. So yes. But this was like an absolute score, this 78 Degrees of Wisdom. So I'm excited to finally have these, to be able to actually read some Rachel Pollack interpretations. Whew. Let's have a break. Okay, so those are all my books. And we are now going to get into the decks that I've bought. So this one wasn't actually secondhand, but it was off eBay and it was extremely affordable. So this is the Winter Waite Redux Stars Edition by Tarot Collectibles. And they were selling this on their eBay for something really affordable because I think it was one of the like print samples. And you can see it's got the holographic stars. I think there's an additional Fool, an additional World. But I was like, do I need a winter, like Christmassy deck? No, not really. But then this was, oh, it was just so cheap. And like the backs are so cute that I couldn't resist. I haven't really had a flip through of this yet. I'm saving it for Christmas. But I thought I would just show it off. They do occasionally have like sample decks on their eBay, which are cheaper than their regularly priced decks. So worth a look. If that's your thing. Like Jack Frost for death. How fun is that? Okay. But I don't want to spoil myself for this deck. It's chunky though. This is like a fat cardstock. Anyway, I'm putting this away and I'm saving it for winter time. But yeah, so this is my 5th Tarot Collectibles deck. I love this stuff. Okay, now on to my used decks. So this is Influence of the Angels Tarot. Okay, so if you have watched some of my videos before, you will know that I really enjoy historical looking decks. I have and really enjoy Cat Black's Golden Tarot, which is this like collage of, oh god, the Golden Tarot is it late medieval mostly imagery? And this is a similar thing. It's by Jodie Buginski Barbesi. But it's a similar thing. It's this like collage of existing artwork. And I don't know what compelled me to really pick this up. My cat's yelling. I'm sorry if you can hear her. Aside from the fact that I like this style, this like historically style. But yeah, like angels is not a thing I've ever been particularly into. Because you usually see it as like angel energy oracle deck. You know, the Doreen Virtue type stuff, which isn't my thing, but that's like not really what this is. This is, or at least that's not how I'm reading this. It's more as just like a historical style deck with angels in every card, which, you know, is fine. I've got no issue with that. One thing you can see here, one thing that I really like about the way this deck has been done is that like in each of the like the minor suits, like here, like the wands are different in each card, and you can see it I think most clearly with the cups. It's not like they've got like a cup that they've copied and pasted a bunch of times, like they're different in each card. So like this is our Page of Cups, and like here like the style of cup is different. Do you see what I mean? What's that? Then and like yeah, like the type of like I don't know, it's just like a little detail that I'm really enjoying. I like this a lot as an 8 of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually used this much yet because I kind of stacked it away. I've had a lot of decks come in recently. I've had a few Kickstarter decks come in too, and I've also just been super busy, so I haven't been playing with my new stuff much. But I think my buying spree of the last few months has calmed down, and I will be able to actually dig in and use my stuff. So that is the Influence of the Angels Tarot. Actually, I also wanted to very briefly mention the guidebook, because I quite like how it's set up. So for the mages, we've actually got like quite a lot. So there's the mages, I think they each feature a specific angel. I'm not up on my angel knowledge, so it doesn't mean a lot to me at this point. But that's what this is. So we get some info about the type of angel or the specific angel in the major card. And then like we've got the symbols on the card, which I always really enjoy. Like the direct, like why did they choose, although this is a pretty straightforward Rider-Waite-Smith interpretation in a lot of ways, like why did they choose the specific things they chose. And then we've got a direct meaning, a shadow meaning, and an angelic message, which I guess you could just read as like a oracle message or like an affirmation type thing. And this is true through the minor suits as well. They haven't fobbed us off with just keywords for the minor suits. So I'm actually really looking forward to digging into this and using the guidebook, because I think it's good. It's just, it seems like it's very nicely done. I'll have to see how it reads, but I'm looking forward to really digging into it. Okay. Next up, I've spoken about this one before. I got the Dragon Tarot, and I mentioned this in my, I think it was my Cozy Decks video, and like this looks, that's the other thing, the Influence of the Angels and this Dragon Tarot, they both seem like they're absolutely brand new. Like they seem like they've never been shuffled. But yeah, I think it was my Cozy Decks video I mentioned this in because I love the like 90s fantasy art aesthetic. I love me a dragon. I am a fantasy fan, and it's like Pippish, but they just look so cool, and I just love the imagery. I love some of the takes on some of the cards. They like read a little bit different. I really enjoy these bubbles all through the sword suit for reasons I can't quite not extrapolate, what's the word I'm looking for? Articulate. Extrapolate, honestly. My brain is mush. The heat has melted the like 3 remaining brain cells that I had. But yeah, thrilled to get this. Love the artwork, which is by Peter Prokonic. Is that showing up? Peter Prokonic. Anyway, he did the artwork. I also have the book. It came with the book. I think you can still buy the deck and book set, I believe, but I got it cheaper off eBay. And it's got like meanings, how to read the cards, some, what are they called, spreads. And then it's got this like dragon mythology, dragons of ancient Greece, dragons and serpents in North America and Mexico. Like, how freaking cool is this? I haven't dug into this yet either. But I'm super excited to like get into this and get me some like dragon lore, because who doesn't love that? On the Peter Prokonic kick, I also picked up the Lord of the Rings tarot. This is tarot deck and card game, so you can play like a card game with it, as the title would suggest. This one is a little bit more bashed up, but this one is out of print, so I am not mad about it at all. And like the art style is the same. He's also done the art for a Hobbit tarot, which is also out of print, but I can't find for a price I'm willing to pay. And I just love it. Like, we've got, so the Hermit, Tom Bombadil is careful not to get involved. So we've got like little snippets from the stories in the cards. And I think it's so cool. I love the like art style of this like brick stuff, the way it's rendered. It looks again very like 90s video gamey. Oh, we're not in focus. I am very sorry. But yeah, I just love it. Page of Cups. Butterbur serves at his inn, the Prancing Pony. Many people come through its doors. I just love it. And like, this is such a good devil. Wormtongue's insidious advice poisons the mind of good King Theoden. Like, it's just so good. So these symbols at the top is how you play the card game, which I've not played. I'll probably play it with my brother at some point. I'm just thrilled to have this because I think it's gorgeous. I am such a like Lord of the Rings fan. Love it. Thrilled. Pippin and Merry are captured by the orcs and are bound and carried away for the 5 of Swords. Like, oh, it's so good. I also got the book with this, which again, I'm really pleased with because, like I say, it's out of print. It's just a bit harder to get your hands on. Dedicated to Gandalf. Love it. But yeah, when was this published actually? 1997? This edition was 97 maybe? Yes, because these dates are Tolkien. So yeah, 97. Yeah, no, it says up here. I'm stupid. And it's not even in frame. Wow, Sylvia. So yeah, this was published in 97 and it is out of print. So we've got some like Welcome to Middle Earth. We've got some lore, the significance of Tolkien's genius, and then the cards and how to read with it. And like we've got for the mages, there's like quite a lot. Astrological associations, like there's a lot in here. And again, I've not dug into this yet. I'm really excited to do so. The minors, less going on, but what else is new? But yeah, I'm really pleased and really excited to get into it. I don't know why I've stopped putting stuff away. Okay. Was that it? No, that's not it. I have one more deck. It's just run away. So this, I am so pleased with this deck. This is also out of print. This is the Vampire Tarot. And the art is by, hold on, because I always forget her name. The art is by Natalie Hertz, who, she did, it was, I've forgotten exactly what it's called, but it's like a fairy tarot, which I really, really want, but is expensive. I got this for such a bargain price. This was like, I think I paid like $15 for this, including shipping. And again, it's like brand new. I'm so impressed. I love the backs as well. It's just, I cannot wait to play with this. Like autumn, Halloween time. I love me a vampire. One thing about me, I love me a vampire story. And the art's just so weird and like spiky and like gothy and like horror-y. These are not like sexy, sparkly vampires. These are like kill you and drink your blood vampires. Yeah, the courts, like, Queen of Cups, absolutely gorgeous. The quartz are great. The minors are a bit pippish, but like they still make sense. I still like them. Queen of Wands, come on. Yeah, but the hangs around with the bats, love it. The majors and the quartz are gorgeous. And then the minors are like the swords are like this. And then in the, I think it's just the ones, we've got these like portraits as well. So who even knows what's going on? Not me. I mean, I said these are not like sexy sparkly vampires, but like that's a little bit sexy. It's giving me like kind of Buffy vibes, but I cannot get over the queens. They're just stunning. So yeah. Oh, I also really like these borders. I think they're really fun. Like that's a perfect Knight of Swords. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I've been talking for nearly half an hour. Hopefully the final runtime of this video won't be so long. But yeah, that's my little second-hand, mostly haul of tarot decks and tarot books and other books. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any of these, if you have read any of these books and you recommend a particular one that I should dive into first, because God knows I'm not going to read them all at once. But yeah, talk to me in the comments. Let me know. I feel like I've not been watching a lot of YouTube recently either, so I feel like very out of touch. So say hi, tell me something. But yeah, that's it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Give it a like if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.